Hi everyone. Today I'll be going over how to put together a resume that you can be proud of. Ultimately, the purpose of a resume is to tell an employer that you are qualified for a job or an internship. Today we will go over how to put your best foot forward in tailoring your resume for the jobs you're interested in. Your resume serves as a marketing tool to help showcase your education, skills, and experiences. The goal is to tailor each resume to fit a specific job. Later in the presentation, I will tell you about a tool to help you in the tailoring process. It's important to remember that submitting a general resume may not be effective in securing an interview. You want to generate interest by detailing your most relevant and impressive skills and qualifications. Some of the challenges you will face when sending your resume off into the world include time and competition. In general, recruiters give your resume between 6 and 20 seconds. In this short amount of time, they need to ascertain as much information as possible to make a decision as to whether they will bring you in for an interview or not. That is why formatting and layout are so important. You also face a lot of competition out there for jobs and internships, not just against other UMKC students, but also students around the country, as well as against more experienced workers. The preferred order on a resume begins with your heading and contact information. This is followed by your education. As a current student, you will want to leave education at the top of your resume until you graduate. In addition to your university and major, you will want to include your graduation date and your GPA if it's above a 3.0. You can also include your major GPA if that's higher or you want to highlight it. You can work with your academic advisor to calculate your major GPA. After education, you will list some of these additional sections depending on your experience. I'll now go over each section in more detail. Your heading should start with your name, big and bold at the top of your resume. This will be followed by your email address, phone number, and LinkedIn URL. To ensure that your LinkedIn URL doesn't include random numbers and letters at the end, Google personalize LinkedIn URL and follow the directions. Including your physical address is optional, but in general, you don't need it. If you are relocating and would like to include your new address, that could help employers know that you are serious about moving to their city. As a Bloch student, you are either pursuing a Bachelor of Science in Accounting or a Bachelor of Business Administration with an emphasis area. This slide shows you how to lay out either degree. If you are accounting and plan to pursue the CPA, make sure you include your CPA eligible date as well as your graduation date. You will notice each example includes UMKC, your degree, graduation date, and GPA. Listing your graduate degree is very similar to your undergraduate degree. It just sits right above it. Everything on a resume moves in reverse chronological order, from most recent to least recent. A few additional items you may include under your education section include other universities you've attended, including community colleges, as well as study abroad and language fluencies. If you speak multiple languages, make sure you list the level of fluency you have in each language as you see here. A resume is not a laundry list of every experience you've ever had. It should be a tailored, detailed snapshot of your experiences that are most related to what you're applying for. Each of your sections, especially under work experience, should contain proper company names and job titles. You will need to include the dates you worked, both month and year. Each one of your bullet points should be a detailed account of one of your job duties, highlighting your role, contribution, and impact. You should always quantify on your resume whenever possible. The bullet point trained employees doesn't sound that impressive, but trained 25 employees in all company policies and procedures, ensuring proper attention was given to customer service, retention, and communication paints a much clearer picture. For each of the next few slides, you will see how best to set up your experiences under each heading. You may decide to include an internship experience section on your resume. You will notice that this experience includes the name of the company, the internship title, the location, the dates, and detailed bullet points about the role. You can plan to have anywhere between 2 and 5 bullet points per experience. Most commonly, you will see a work or professional experience section on a resume. The experience is formatted exactly like the internship section. You will notice this experience has also included a quantifiable data point, letting the employer know that this person led tours for hundreds of people. As a busy college student, you may also have on-campus leadership experience that will be laid out just like this. You may or may not want to get into as much detail here as you did in your work experience section, but you certainly can depending on space. Most importantly, you will want to list the name of the organization, your role, the dates, and any pertinent accomplishments. If you are heavily involved in the community, you may decide to include a volunteer section. Much like leadership experience, you can go into as little or as much detail as you'd like. One thing to note here is that you may be more impactful to list the hours versus the dates. Awards and accolades is another section you may consider including on your resume. I would encourage you to stick to 3 to 4 most impressive achievements instead of doing a long list of every scholarship you've earned. On most job descriptions, you will find desired skills. If you have a lot of technology or software skills, this is a great section to include them. As noted on the slide, this is not a section to include soft skills like communication, organization, or time management. Those skills are better utilized in your work bullets. For those skills, don't just tell me you have great communication skills, show me how you use them in one of your bullet points under a job or internship. Finally, you may find it helpful to include a section that describes some of the projects you've done in class, especially if they're relevant to your career goals. Include a bullet or 2 with the most pertinent details of the project, as well as the full name of the class. An example would be listing business communications instead of management 301. After you've completed your resume, it is important to have it reviewed. The Bloch Career Center should be your first stop. Sitting down with an experienced career coach or consultant will ensure that your resume is on the right track. The UMKC Writing Studio can also give you feedback on your grammar, punctuation, and syntax. Once you've been given the thumbs up by the Career Center, scan your resume into JobScan and see how it stacks up to the job descriptions you've identified. JobScan will tell you how well it's tailored against the job descriptions that you're applying for, and it'll give you tips on how to make it stronger. Finally, when you're ready to apply, head over to Handshake to submit your applications. Your resume is a living document that will be constantly tweaked for the rest of your career. As you make edits, changes, and add content, be open to feedback, but don't take it personally if someone thinks you should change something. There are a lot of opinions out there about resumes, and it's important to get a well-rounded view. The Bloch Career Center bases its coaching on recruiter feedback, and you can trust us to be up to date on all of the latest resume trends. It's a lot of work to put together a strong resume, so be proud of yourself and your accomplishment. You're just a few steps away from landing that next big job.